This video, I'm going to show you the truth about what is called collective manifestation. I'm going to share with you how to transcend that of the media, how to transcend that of social conditioning, so that you start to create what you want easier than ever. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you more about understanding that of social conditioning, what is called collective manifestation, and how we can start to transcend that of what is normally keeping us in a little box. Now this is something that will sound a little bit more esoteric, but if you've been watching my videos on reality transurfing, if you've been watching my videos where I talk more about how the vibration is speeding up on the planet and how manifestation is coming more easily than ever, then this will make a little bit more sense in that context. Now this has to do with understanding, first off, that there is an electromagnetic energy around each of our bodies. Now they've proven this, they've shown this using different types of testing to see that there is an aura around our body, and then beyond that, the Heart Math Institute has shown that the electromagnetic energy of that of the heart is thousands of times more powerful than that of the head. Now the cool thing about this is that in general, the momentum that we're feeling with the emotions that we feel, with the thoughts that we're having, that toroidal field around our body, which every one of us has, is constantly vibrating at a certain frequency. And depending on that frequency, we will then go into the world, we will have certain experiences that will resonate with that frequency of the electromagnetic energy around of our body. Now, the cool thing as well is there's a momentum to it. And if we change our thoughts, if we change our feelings, we change the momentum of it. So in general, for about a month, there is a certain momentum of the thoughts that we've been thinking, of the feelings we've been having. And this isn't to make you feel like there's so much you have to do to try to change that. It's just to make you aware of what have you been thinking and feeling, because if you're in a little bit of a rut, it's not going to last forever. You can switch your focus, you can switch your momentum, and then change what you are manifesting and creating inside of your life. Now, with understanding that, now let's understand it from more of a collective point of view. Collectively, there are many of us that have this electromagnetic energy around our body. I mean, we all do. But then what happens is, as we have similar thoughts to one another, this is from reality transurfing, what we do is, having similar thoughts as other people, we create what are called pendulums. Now, pendulums is just a metaphor for understanding that our thoughts have an electromagnetic type reality, current to them. And when multiple people think similar things, that develops momentum for us to experience that. So this could be some type of collective event. It could be something when you look at being Republican or Democrat. Those are pendulums. Whether you're for or against them, if you're for or you're fighting one, then you are feeding it at the same time. If you are for or against a certain sports team, you may be feeding that pendulum. This doesn't have to be a bad thing, but just be aware of it, because many times you may think you're thinking your own emotions, when in reality, you're thinking the emotions of this general thought consensus. You're thinking the emotion of that, the collective energy, and you're thinking that it's yourself. So this is where we then get to understanding something that this is something that people know, and I do not mean this in a negative way. I mean this in a very positive way. When I first went through my spiritual awakening, I became more aware of how my thoughts correlate with what I experience in my life. And I just had this inner knowing that at a certain level, that is suppressed from people from knowing at a very deep level. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I thought to myself, I can't be this special that I know this. Like, I can see it, I can feel it. I just intuitively know that it is true that we create our own realities. But why isn't this taught in schools? Why isn't this talked about on the media? Why isn't this talked about at all? Why is it completely suppressed? And what I realized through doing a lot of research is that there are certain forces that want to keep it so that we are not aware that we create our own reality. Because if we are more manageable, because we don't believe in our own power, if we are able to just be programmed by the media, programmed by the things that we're paying attention to, then we're more easily contained. And if we don't know our true power, some other organizations and people can retain the power. Now, once again, if this is your first time hearing it, I do not mean for this to be scary. It doesn't have to be scary. it just can be empowering if you choose to know that that means you can take your power back. So in general, there is an understanding at a very high level, and I'm not going to necessarily get into that, of understanding the Illuminati or any of these back governments or any of the understanding of that, but it has to do with knowing that they, at a deeper level, whoever they are, understand that there is a certain level of creation that happens when we are focused in a certain direction. Now, collectively, we co-collectively create our realities together based on certain energies, based on what we are collectively thinking. And because of that, there is certain ways that we can understand to take our power back from adding to the energy, the probabilities of things happening on the planet that we don't necessarily prefer. This is when things will happen like the certain waves of economic crashes. This is when things will happen that seem to be devastating events that happen, and sometimes those can be triggered by certain things. But what we can learn how to do, and I mean this in a very positive way, we can start to take our power back by taking our focus back. Now, what can you do to really change this? What you could become aware of is that your focus is being pulled in many different directions. It's being pulled on believing the world is bad because of the media. If you're watching the media, and if you've taken your power back and you don't watch the media, and what I mean by media is the mainstream media specifically, then if you do that, you start to take your energy and your emotion back. Anytime we focus on something and feel a certain way, we are adding electromagnetic energy and momentum to that reality, having that kind of experience. So, what can we do? Start to more so observe your thoughts and start to realize that there is an agenda behind what the media is showing you. So what you can begin to do is not watch the media, or if you do watch it from a place of awareness. Because there's this understanding that whatever we focus on is growing. Whatever we focus and put momentum and energy behind is creating that more so within the collective consciousness. But I believe that this is the most important time to be alive in the history of our planet, and that is because there is an awakening, a speeding up of vibration. There is a spiritual awakening that is happening collectively. Not every single person is going through this at this moment, but I believe that over the course of the next 10, 15, 20 years, there'll be more and more people going through this, and in a certain level, there could be a spiritual renaissance that happens. I believe it's the reason that so many people are here at this time. It's over 7 billion people that are here right now. It's because this is the place to be, because collectively there's never been this kind of awakening on a planet. That's just what I believe. I know it's a little bit out there. Believe me, I get it. However, with that awareness of spiritual awakening comes understanding that we create our own reality. That our thoughts and our focus has power. And when we start to take our power back, guess what? We can start to co-create what we want collectively in a much more powerful way. Now, they've shown before that if you get 200 meditators and you have them focus on certain areas of the planet or just focus on love, that will statistically change the amount of violence. It'll decrease the amount of violence in certain areas. So what they would do is they would put monks or people that meditate in certain areas of the city, have them meditate on peace and love, and statistically speaking, there is less crime, there is less violence. So, knowing that that is something that is powerful, imagine what we could do collectively if we started to put positive energy on building a future that we really want. Instead of focused on separation, we started focusing on connection. We started realizing that we have the power. But until we start to claim our power back, we won't really experience the full ramifications of it and what we can really do, because until then we're going to continue to give away our focus, to give away our power, and to say that this is the kind of system that we will allow for now. We can allow ourselves to have an amazing future if we get together and start to focus on optimal timelines, on optimal parallel realities that we want to experience, because all of them exist. There's an infinite number of parallel realities that exist. Now, what I mean by this is I've talked on this channel a lot about how we create our reality using parallel realities, how we shift through our focus, we shift through our beliefs, and that, depending on our focus, our emotions and beliefs, shifts us to parallel realities that we prefer. Collectively, we do the same thing. There is future probable Earths that are amazing. there's future probable Earths that are not so amazing. But collectively, we are creating our reality together. And when we start to become more aware of what we are thinking, that's when things begin to change. Now, here's the kicker, though. The outside reality is a reflection of the inside. Now, at a certain level, the only way we can really create change in this world is by first changing ourselves. It's from taking the focus from that direction and bringing it in this direction. And here's the thing too, as you begin to transform yourself by paying attention to what you're focused on, by choosing to do things that put you in a better state of being, by choosing to let go and not watch the media, or to not watch things that trigger lower emotions within you, you start to change your own vibration, and that will literally leak out to every single person around you. Now, the other cool thing is that it does not take a majority of the planet to change and to shift to these optimal timelines, or to have this collective manifestation the way that we want to be. Because the power of people that are in a higher vibrational state, that aren't kind of bowed down by all of these lower emotions, have much more power than the people, than hundreds and hundreds of millions of people that are in those lower states of consciousness. I don't mean that in a judgment way, just from a point of awareness. When you start to let go of the focus of these lower emotions, you will start to raise your vibration, and it will only take a couple 100,000 of us out of the 7 billion people to shift the planet, and to shift our awareness, and to shift the planet's momentum of what we experience collectively. This, I think, is very, very empowering to understand, is that power exists within of us. It is something we can begin to connect to. Now, if you want to learn how to raise your own vibrational set point from maybe unconsistently out of a 1 out of 10, maybe you feel at a 3 or 4 or a 5. That's how I was. I felt 4 or 5 for a long time. I learned how to meditate. I learned some of the techniques that I use in this meditation, and it brought me from a 4 or 5 to a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I thought that feeling was going to go away, but it never did. It became my natural set point. I believe that you can also raise your vibrational set point. That's why I've made a free guided meditation that will show you exactly how to do that. I recommend that you listen to it every day for at least a month, and that if you do that, you're going to start to really experience profound change in your life, because as you raise your vibration, you manifest things easier than ever. And what you can then learn how to do is how to transcend this social type understanding, this social conditioning, to start to really create what you want. Now remember, collectively we are creating the momentum of what we experience in our lives, but at the same time, the best thing you can do is to go within and to decide to let go of what no longer serves, and to change yourself. And that by you doing that, that will leak out. It will be contagious, even at subconscious levels, to everyone around you. They will shift a change within you, because you are not feeding into those lower vibrations. You are choosing to be who you prefer to be, and you are starting to create from a more authentic place. This is something that I think can profoundly change the world, and can profoundly change your world. And it's something that I want to help you do as well. So I'm going to be talking more on this channel about ideas like that. If you guys want me to talk more about these esoteric ideas of understanding how reality works, or understanding how collectively we can start to create more optimal timelines, or any of these esoteric ideas, let me know. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk more about that, and I will continue to go more in this esoteric type direction. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you guys liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll also be doing a lot more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you want to have more of a live type dialogue with me and interaction, ask me questions, go ahead and follow me on Instagram below, and I will interact with you there too. So with that being said, peace, much love, and namaste.